everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Bearkat Countdown. I am Colin Neal. Alongside me is Emma Sims. Emma, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I am a little nervous for this game, I will say.
Well, why are you a little nervous?
It's the reason we're having this special edition of Bearkat Countdown. It's Battle of Piney Woods.
Piney Woods, yes. It is going to be Sam Houston Bearkats going up against Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks for the 96th and final time. Emma, there's a lot going into this game. I honestly can't wait for it. I'm a little nervous as well.
I mean, we've won for the past, 10 years now?
10 years.
It's very nerve-wracking since this is the last time. We need to have this win. So, I mean, it's honestly just coming down to the guys and how they communicate with each other and how they play. And we'll just have to see.
I mean, last year was a bit of a close call, but we'll get more into that later. But first, how about we go into the history of Battle of Piney Woods? Shay Goodwin and Kendall Morris have more on that.
Kendall Morris. And my name is Shaylin Goodwin, and we're super stoked about the Battle of the Piney Woods this weekend.
Hey Shay, did you know that the Battle of the Piney Woods has been played since 1923, around the same time of World War II?
Hey Kendall, did you know that General Sam Houston and Stephen F. Austin ran against each other in the 1836 presidential election of the newly established Republic of Texas?
I think it's really cool that Sam Houston, a popular war hero in the Texas Revolution, was elected for victory, taking out Stephen F. Austin, as I hope we do this Saturday.
For sure, for sure. Did you know that the rivalry that we have with Stephen F. Austin is the fourth oldest active football rivalry in the state of Texas?
That's crazy, and it's so sad that it's coming to an end this Saturday. And did you know that more than 60 football players that have played in the Battle of the Piney Woods have gone on to play in the NFL?
That's nice.
That is
awesome.
Crazy. All right, well, that's all that we have with Did You Know? And we'll send it back to you guys.
Eat 'em up, cats.
Thanks, Kendall and Shay. I'm Hunter King. Alongside me is Evan Elder and Luke Scott down there, and we are happy to have you today. This afternoon will be the final of 96 Battle of the Piney Woods matchups. A truly historic day here at Sam Houston and at NRG Stadium. The Bearkats will be looking for their second win of the season after falling to at Texas A&M in Week 1, and then NAU in game number 2. But let's talk about today's matchup. As I just mentioned, this is normally a big game, but it's even bigger, even more so this year because it is the last one. So for fans who are unfamiliar with this SFA and Sam Houston matchup, why is this rivalry so heated and what makes it so important?
So I guess we can, go back to the root of the rivalry. It was, before football. This is when Texas was its own, republic. Yeah, Sam Houston and Stephen Fuller Austin, were running for president of it, and Sam Houston crushed him. He had 76% of the votes, and ever since then, the rivalry has just been going on strong and strong. And then, it took to the football field because that's where, most people like to talk their trash, and that's the pride of the school is most likely the football team, and Sam Houston's really been dominating in that aspect, and this is the last year, so I'm pretty sure they're going to definitely want to win this year as well.
Well, and another thing, that these two teams, Coach Keeler talked about it in his press conference, they recruit out of the same areas. And Coach Carthel and Coach Keeler, they know each other and they have a lot of history together. And so all these guys that play in this game, a lot of them played against each other in districts in high school, in playoffs in high school, and they know each other really well. So it's a lot of hometown rivalries, but it's also it's a tribalism between these two schools, and it fuels this fire.
Right. So there's been a lot of great matchups over the years between these two. Obviously, 96 games over the last, century or so. So what has been y'all's favorite game over the years?
I'd say my favorite one, it probably has to be the one in 2016. It actually broke the record for, the crowd attendance at NRG. They didn't start playing at NRG till 2010, I believe. And this was the largest crowd at NRG with about 27,000 fans, which is a lot. But if you look at it in an aspect that's not not that many people, but it's still a lot of people.
In a big stadium like that, it's
a professional stadium. Yeah. But this was when Jeremiah Briscoe was the quarterback. He threw for 7 touchdowns, a school record. He also won the Walter Payton Award that year, which is the best offensive player in the FCS. And he threw for about 490 yards, 470 yards, and Sam Houston won 63-28. So obviously, it was a great win for us.
That's a good one. you go back last year. Last year was such a good game. Keegan Shoemaker, who's playing quarterback this game, he backed up Schmid, last season, and he came in and had to play for Schmid, who was out for injury that whole game. Came in and took over, but did enough to win that victory off a great catch there by Adai, and then also go back to 2011 with the Flanders flip. That's an iconic moment.
Big moment. So we talked about a little bit about this game. It is at NRG Stadium. It's a neutral site. There's also history, 10 consecutive wins against SFA here at Battle of the Piney Woods. What do you do as a player? Because that's got to make you a little bit nervous, or at least, there are some nerves as you're going into this game. But you're playing a huge game at a neutral site at an NFL stadium. And then, you're going to be on TV. You have 10 consecutive wins. How do you calm the nerves as a player going into this game?
I feel like most players are, they're already ready for this type of environment. Like you said, it's a neutral zone, so it's not like we're going to have the student section behind the SFA bench and SFA student section behind Sam Houston's bench. It's going to be fans scattered all around the stadium. But this is one of those things when you even come on visits that you get prepared for it. Like, everybody knows at Sam Houston, you're ready for that SFA game. There's a star on the game on the calendar before the season even starts. Everybody had high school rivalries. If you go to Alabama, you're getting ready for Texas. If you go to Texas, you're getting ready for Oklahoma. Everybody has that team that they're getting ready for. So they've been preparing for this game the whole season, especially since there's no playoffs. There's really, quote unquote, nothing to play for this year. There's no extra. We only have 9 games, so this is definitely a game that we want to win for sure. So
yeah, this is the marquee moment on the calendar. This is the one that everyone circles. But another thing, just to calm the nerves down, you just got to get back to what Sam Houston's been doing the past 10 years in a row, and it's doing all the little things right. It's running the ball efficiently. Last year they ran the ball so well. They got to do the same thing this week.
Key plays on special teams as well. They need to win basically all 3 components of the game: offense, defense, special teams, and they've been doing that for the past 10 years, and they can easily do that this year too.
Yeah, well, we'll see. That game is coming up in just a few moments. We got a lot more ahead here on Bearkat Countdown. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
What's up, y'all? We're Cat on the Street on Bearkat Countdown, and we're here with Evan holding the camera right now. He's going to ask some questions to students about Battle of the Piney Woods. Let's go.
All right, so can you tell us your name and your classification?
All right, my name is JJ, and I'm a senior.
Shania, I'm a senior.
Reagan, I'm a senior.
Alvante Woodard, grad transfer from UT.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mateo Seguetzo, and I'm a senior.
Okay. So have you ever been to a Battle of the Piney Woods before?
I have, playing snare drum on the band, and it was so exciting.
So can you tell us what year was the first Battle of the Piney Woods?
I was orientation leader for 2 years, so I should know this. It was around 1914.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna say don't clown me. 1923.
1923, correct. That's correct. That's correct. So since you're on the team, you have to know this answer. What is our current win streak against the Lumberjacks?
10-0.
10-0. Okay.
Finna be 11-0.
That's good energy. How many times have we tied the Battle of the Piney Woods?
Tied?
Yeah, tied. Like the score is the same.
Never.
Never.
I don't know how many times.
Can you give us a guess? It's a low number.
2.
2, correct. Right on the mark. Okay. Do you know when the first game was played at NRG Stadium?
2000.
2000?
I don't know.
You don't know?
2000.
I give you you close. Give me a couple more years.
1960.
Nah, it's closer to us now. It's more
2010.
2010, perfect. Right on the mark. Right? Yes, 2010. Do you know why that we have such a deep rivalry with SFA? Like, do you know the root behind it?
No, I don't.
Do y'all remember when Texas was a republic? Like when it was its own country? So Sam Houston and Stephen F. Austin ran against each other for president, and Sam Houston won. And that's probably why we win on the field so much. Oh, do you have any words of advice or words of wisdom, good luck words for the team?
Yes, just put your heart and soul in there. Know that we, the Bearkat, support you, and we're excited to see you play and represent. Yes.
Oh, do you have any words of advice or words of wisdom, good luck words for the team?
Yes, just put your heart and soul in there. Know that we, the Bearkat, support you, and we're excited to see you play and represent. Yes.
Okay. And what do you expect from the last Battle of the Piney Woods? This place, last Battle of the Piney Woods ever.
It's kind of significant because it's also my last year at Sam Houston, so I expect it to be, a good close to my 4 years here at Sam Houston.
Thank y'all so much to everyone who participated today. Y'all are all wonderful, and we will see you at Battle of the Piney Woods this weekend. Eat 'em up, cats.
All right, thanks for that. We are back here in the studio talking about some key players and things to look out for here in this game against SFA over at NRG Stadium. So let's talk about it really quick. Let's look at the Lumberjacks first. There's a lot to look out for. They had a game last week. They won big. Let's talk about that for a second. What did you guys see from that game that you can take away for this week?
Well, first of all, they did play Warner, which is an NAIA school, so they beat them 98-0.
A pop Warner team.
Right. Yeah. They were playing a cupcake, but SFA, they got some guys on their team. Their receiver, Xavier Gibson, you got to look out for him in space. Yeah. He's a punt returner, he returns kicks. He's one of those guys that you give him the ball in space. It's kind of like a Jaquez Ezzard, how he was for us the past 2 seasons. That's kind of what he is to their team. And so that's the main guy on offense to really look out for.
And he's already had success against us, having 100 yards and a touchdown last year. And their near win, we had to score on the last drive and stop them on their last drive. So, it's going to be a tough battle for us. The quarterback also, Trey Self, he's a dual threat, kind of like Jordan Yates was for us. He can run and he can throw. So that's definitely somebody we need to look out for too. But, with our strong defense this year, the way that we've been performing, is definitely something that we can easily contain and maintain him on the ground and through the air.
Right. And you were talking about Trey Self there for a minute. He has over 700 yards this season, 9 touchdowns through 4 games. Do you think the Bearcats have to change their defensive plans from previous weeks, or you think they just keep rolling the same thing?
Well, to me, this defense for Sam Houston, that's our strength of the team.
Right.
We have a lot of experienced guys. I talk about Trevor Williams. He's our middle linebacker. He's the Mike. To me, he's the best football player on the team. He's the leader. Team leader in tackles.
Yeah, he's the smartest for sure.
He's what you want in a middle linebacker. And then also we have the experience with B.J. Foster down at safety, and we got the corners. The corners, that's going to be really the main key for our defense. But as far as changing things, I don't think so.
Yeah, and the way our corners been playing this, especially last week, we came in, Andrew Anderson from Commerce, he came into the season, he came into the game with more touchdowns himself than our whole team had, and he didn't get into the end zone one time last week. And he was 6'6". He's way taller by far than all of our DBs, and they just kept rotating. Sometimes you have Speedy on him, or Cam Alexander, that's his name. Sometimes you have Sincere on him, or Jordan Moore, and they just did what they had to do. So that's definitely something that they'll look forward to this week.
Yeah, well, Sam Houston won their game last week against Texas A&M Commerce. They didn't play as many guys as we thought they were going to. They want to keep some of their eligibility, so they didn't play them. But we're going to see everybody this week, assuming that everything goes well up until game time. What did you guys see? What was the biggest surprise last week with some new players in, but also first win. They did very good running, especially. Zach Urbachik had a good game. What did you guys see that was really good from Sam Houston?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Like you said, Zach did a pretty good job on the ground. He also won the offensive player of the week. Specifically towards that SFA defense, this season they've given up literally about 300 yards rushing a game, except obviously against Warner. But the first 3 games that they played before that, they gave up 300 yards on the ground. So us coming off of a rushing game like that, and we've been saying for the whole season, we need to find our identity running the ball. And I feel like we definitely did that last week, and that's something that we can take into this week. Because we didn't even – Zach, that's our, number 2 running back. Desmond Jackson didn't play. So – he played a couple of snaps. He didn't play the full game. So with that, he's the running back. Yeah, finding that 1-2 punch, we should definitely be able to take advantage of that weak running defense that they have.
Well, and that was what was so good about the past years with Ramon Jefferson and Noah Smith.
Yeah.
It was so hard for SFA to really stop those 2 backs, and then that really leveraged the offense passing-wise with Jaquez Ezzard, with Ife Adei, with Crest, all these guys, and these guys are back. We still have Crest and Adei, so you got to look out for those guys. But I really want to highlight Shoemaker. He's got to be the guy to step up with Jordan Yates not being able to play injury-wise. He needs to be the guy to step up in the offense and really take command of this team.
Right, and that is big news coming out of the locker room. We heard from Casey Keeler, Keegan Shoemaker is going to be the starter for this game today. So, going in, we have seen Keegan Shoemaker. He has had experience with this team. He had a lot of experience last year, especially at Battle of the Piney Woods. Yeah. So he is familiar with these big games. How big is it to have that experience underneath their belt as quarterback?
I mean, for one, it takes down the pregame jitters. He's not going to be overthinking things. He's been here before. He just needs to keep it simple and, go through your reads, let them fully develop. But it's a good thing, like you said, everybody didn't play last week, and they should be back this week. So Ife and Noah, they should be back on the field this week. So this is a big game, a rivalry game, and we're coming off a win. We want to go get a 2-game winning streak, and this is the last of the Piney Woods ever. Yeah. So this is a game they want to win. I would be on the lookout for some extra packages, get that speed on the field, maybe put Noah at running back, Noah in the slot, 4 receivers, no tight end. It's going to be this is a game that they definitely want to air the ball out, especially last week. 2 quarterbacks played. Neither one of them got over 100 yards passing, and that's pretty much been the case for the whole season. We've never really had that much success passing the ball. So this is a game, they're coming off a 98-point win. They think we just scored 100 points, basically. They're trying to set the tone, but, this is the game for us to just come in and say, well, we don't really care about that, and just negate it off rip.
Yeah, they come in and think they're hot stuff. But, who's won this game 10 years in a row, right? But, I really think it's going to be – well, the good thing about Shoemaker is that he's played in this game before. It's not like a guy who transferred in and hasn't played in this game before. Mm-hmm. Shoemaker's been in the spotlight of this game. He got thrown into it last year and played reasonably well. So I think that experience playing in this game last year, and it's a lot of the same guys on SFA. So there's not comfortability, but there's
they know they were so close last year.
Yeah,
they're trying to get that extra step.
Exactly.
Get that dub.
Well, okay, let's talk a little bit about the defense really quick before we move on. There has been very good defensive play all season long. We talked about the secondary. We've seen a really strong secondary. The linebackers, the safeties, the cornerbacks for the Bearcats. That defensive line, though, created a lot of pressure last game. What do you think the key is going to be to keep that up from last week and keep it going in this game against SFA?
Well, for one thing, they play a lot of guys. About every 3 or 4 plays, there's somebody coming in and out. So they keep them fresh, because everybody, most of the D-line is transfers. Like, we've gotten a lot of transfers this year. One of them from SMU, Toby Ndukwe, he caught a pick last week. After that, he didn't touch the field for the next 2 plays on their drive coming back out when Commerce got the ball back.
Yep.
It's just fresh legs. You're constantly seeing fresh legs, and so that's one key.
And that's what's so nice about this defensive front. And Coach Carlin's done a great job building up these players with experience and how we're so deep. We got Javon Leon, and right behind him, we got Chris Murray, and he's played a bunch of snaps. And so it's he's not in. Oh, but we got another guy that comes in, and this guy can make a play too. And so it's almost pick your poison with this defensive front.
Right. There was a bye week last week, and then the week prior was the Texas A&M Commerce game. So you not only have guys who were rested in that Texas A&M Commerce game, but then they had an off week to prepare for this. And then Casey Keeler, we heard from him earlier this week saying that they had a really good week in practice and training up for this game, Battle at the Piney Woods. So what do you think? What do you think is the biggest part of practice that needs to be implemented in this game? Because they ran some plays with Keegan, and they said they really liked the way it looked. But they also ran Zach Urbachik out there, looked really good. Defense looked really good. What do you think is going to be the key thing that they need to focus on in this game?
Well, I think going back to last game, in that second half, the offense, when Shoemaker came in, a little bit of juice was inducted into that team. And so I really think we need to establish the line of scrimmage. And we talked about earlier, we pound the rock, use our backs, use our athleticism. I think we have the more athletic team than SFA compared from our offense to their defense. I think we need to get our guys in space and let our playmakers make plays.
Well, like you said, we need to establish the line of scrimmage. It's been pretty hard to establish it early on this season because, every time Jordan's been in at quarterback, the box is packed. It's 7-8 guys in the box. So it's hard to even know what defense they're in. It's hard to even read the defense, read the coverage. Pre-snap, at least, if 8 guys are in the box, you don't even know if it's man, and then, boom, and safety shoots back.
Yeah,
but as soon as
five
they
guys can't block 8.
Exactly. As soon as they put Keegan in, it's just like the defense just opened up. There were so many holes. It's a lot of people. I've been hearing a lot of talk about, Jordan needs to throw the ball. Jordan needs to throw the ball, but you can't throw it when it's guys in your face. As soon as Keegan comes in, the field opens up. He's picking the holes apart.
Right.
So
and the good thing about it is that Shoemaker, I think, does have the more talented arm. I think there's more upside with Yates, complete wise. But I think the arm strength with Shoemaker, that's going to help spread out this defense.
Right, it is a downfield threat, and that you did see a game plan change from Texas A&M Commerce last week when he came in the game, and that's why it kind of looked like the field opened up there at the end. So we got a lot more coming up here on Bearkat Countdown. We have Media Day. We're going to hear from Casey Keeler and players. So stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a few minutes.
On Tuesday, Sam Houston held a press conference that featured head coach Casey Keeler with players Trevor Williams and Ife Adeyi.
Let's take a look at what Coach Keeler had to say.
It's a game that we recruit players about, coming to Sam and playing in this wonderful rivalry, and I know they do too. And it's so unique because, there's so many high school teammates and friends and guys that you played against in your league or in championship games, state championships or whatever. So there's a lot of familiarity with our players, and it just is an amazing rivalry. I always talk about the very first game that I was involved in this rivalry, and I gave Bobby Williams a hard time coming off the field because I didn't think he did a good enough job explaining the intensity that would partake that day. No, it might be the last time we ever get a chance to do this, and that makes it a big deal. It really does. And I've talked to our players about that this possibly could be the last time that this game is ever played. And so it's even more special if you can make it more special.
I agree with Keeler about this being a very special battle of the Piney Woods.
When they talk about retired rivals, one of the most comments that are made is who won last. And this being the last rival, it doesn't matter that we have a winning streak. It's whoever wins on Saturday.
Now that we have heard from Keeler, let's see what Trevor Williams has to say about the feel for the game on Saturday.
I'm feeling pretty good. I think the bye week, it gave us a chance to, for guys to get healthy, have some bumps and bruises and things like that. Also gives us a chance, to fix some of the things that we need to correct, from the past games, for the previous games, for us to be ready. But in terms of, how I feel, and I think the overall team, I think they feel pretty good. I think they feel energized, coming off of the bye week and ready to go for this upcoming game.
I see that he talks a lot about how well rested our players should be after they come off a bye week. Do you agree with them?
100%. When you have a bye week, you have time to heal old injuries and new. So hopefully we go into this ready to go.
All right. Well, now let's see what Trevor has to say about the SFA gameplay.
They got some explosive players, some guys who can, constantly make plays, whether that's on the outside or the inside, with the quarterback or even the running back. Just understanding us, as a defense, at the end of the day, it still comes to swarming and competing, regardless of who we're playing.
He talked about defense. It looks like Ife Adeyi seems to agree with Williams about what SFA has in store for us.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that segment, and back to you guys.
Eat 'em up, Cats.
All right, we just heard from Coach Players Media Day. Now it's time to get into the real thick of it. It is time to make our predictions for this game. NRG Stadium, neutral site, big game, the final battle of the Piney Woods. Stephen F. Austin, Sam Houston, what y'all got?
Obviously, I'm going with the Bearkats. It's been a tough season. Well, it's been a pretty tough season, but it's been a lot of good things showing, especially with that defense. Their offense is pretty good. Their passing game-wise, and we have a great secondary. They haven't really established their run game, just like we haven't really established our run game until last week. So I can definitely see us locking in. And since we just established our run game, and that's been something that they've been struggling with all season, is their run support. Easily I can see that we win this game. Maybe not by too much, just like last year we escaped by, but I can see it maybe 28-21.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that range too. I think the defense will hold off SFA's offense just enough, just for our offense to get out there for one last drive. And as last year, SFA missed that field goal to win the game. I think our All-American Seth Morgan comes out, hits a big one, and wins the game 24-21.
All right. I think, I do think this offense is going to look a lot different. So I think it is going to be higher scoring than what we've seen in the past. So I am going to go out on a limb and say we are going to score. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we're gonna score 31 points.
Okay.
As for SFA, I think they have a really good team offensively as well. So I am gonna be careful with what I predict. I don't want to put it too low, so you got to give them credit.
Yeah.
But that defense is very strong. We talked about that. I'll say 14 points, 31-14, Sam Houston. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. But that game is coming up in just a few minutes, a 2:30 kickoff over at NRG Stadium. You can catch the call on 90.5 The Cat, and obviously we'll have much more here on Bearkat Countdown. But that is it from me, Hunter King, Evan Elder, Luke Scott, excuse me. We have much more coming up here in just a minute.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this very special edition of Bearkat Countdown. And now, where can we listen to the game?
Well, funny you ask, Emma. You can listen in on 90.5 The Cat KSHU. Luke Scott will be on the play-by-play, and I, Colin Neal, will be on the color side. And I got to say, I am pretty excited. But hopefully, we come out of NRG one final time with a win. Thank you, everyone, for joining and listening. I'm once again Colin Neal.
I'm Emma Sims.
And as always, eat 'em up, cats. Have a good one.